Come in everyone on the Ironworks of Misery! Yeah, you heard right. This is not a balance offense or a wrong setup. Outer Haven maps are disabled and our wonderful rule committee pushed the Blight onto Ironworks. That's the debut for the Blight. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think Discord just had an issue in entire Germany because my Discord just crashed and I had to come back, hence rejoined as well. So yeah, this time not behavior dealing with us, it's Discord itself. Welcome back, Hens. Welcome back, everyone. We are on Ironworks and the first chase is, in my opinion, going quite good. Manox doing a really good job here.
This is a very early down, actually still at 5 gens. That is going to help him, setting him up for a very nice game. He's very happy with that, as you can see. The gens shouldn't be that forward now.
Actually, they got one in the distance. Yeah, that was a surprise here. So a double up coming out very early. They're not joking around here, not giving any time. Pop Ghost Weasel going to be applied in the main building. Manox, though, was with a good chase. One generator for the first hook on the Blight set is, hence, I would say, a very good first trade here.
Absolutely. Actually playing extremely aggressive and found the sprint burst player. This could very well be the Deliverance. A great find. And now he will not be able to get it. Going back to secure the hook and kind of like patrolling the perimeter. Very well done. Good control. And we're looking to secure the second stage now, I think. Very early, this is worth it. Only one generator done and nothing else close to popping. Yep, that is the Deliverance being found. Ooh, a second generator, very close now, okay.
Yeah, I really like what they're putting up in terms of the efficiency here. Deliverance being out of the game, but then coming up with such a good strategy on the objectives. Really looking good. Our killer does suspect the survivor over here. We have seen the scratch marks, but he doesn't even have the time to quickly go for the on the generator or a closer look because Ace is already rotating in, being caught here, but he does get the unhook, not even ending in a trade, so has the chance to go for a run for a little bit longer here. That is a very important chase now for our survivor that is going down in the pallet. Eruption kicking in the main building. Is there anyone coming around to further help? No, but the decisive strike is coming out together with the pallet being used to get some distance here. Great work, but brutal strength dealing with the filler pallets is going to close the gap, and that was a very, very nice recover from the killer.
That is a very, very early death here. No data being used. And yeah, we saw 2 survivors with Eruption, I think. So that is great info for the killer. He has everything in his hands now. But how is he going to play around the main building? There are a lot of gens around here, but it's very hard to dash through the main building and navigate it. It's a very safe space against the Blight. And it really comes down to how well did the survivors use it here.
That's a good point, yeah. This perk resource management is going to be one thing. Together with the resources, the map is offering you, and that's a nice one here onto Ace. Perfectly played using all the rushes here around this tile. The mind games coming out, these are not going to work. Ace is holding W, trying to reach the shack, but that shouldn't be enough here with this tree being there for the Blight. That's a quick down once again. We're down to 2 generators now, but with 3 survivors. The generator efficiency is going to drop really, really quickly, especially when we now have a survivor that needs to rotate over towards the heal and the rescue. So Blight doing a good job here, especially if you would find a very quickly finding a next survivor and going into the next chase as soon as possible.
That is a very good 3-gen that is straight in the line. I think the Blight is also eyeing it out. There was no deliverance, so every survivor's position is known. But now the Feng is going to the main building. She knows very well that it's very hard for him to deal with this. I don't think she has enough distance here. Oh, that is a great firecracker being used. And the rush is in. Now he can't really commit to the chase anymore. And yeah, that was a great play by the survivors, giving them a lot of room to work with. And there's a reset with the medkit coming out from the ace and the tag on the Zarina. Very active. Another survivor being found. And another tag that hurts a lot. Now the medkit is not there anymore.
Yeah, this tag is going to come in really handy for the killer. A lot of things are happening here, as you mentioned, like we have all the tags coming out on the survivors at the same time. They're trying to deal against that, and they do pull out the medkit, which is now gone from the trial as well. Eruption kicking in, but good communication there on the side of the survivors. We do see them in the distance working on that generator, probably trying to get that one out as quick as possible, because they are aware that pop goes to Weasel would be a very punishing factor here with this generator not having any kind of progress. So killer happily just going to take that kick here, resetting it to almost 0 and making sure that this very tight, can almost talk about a 4-gen here in line on the northern side of the Ironworks being under control. We do catch the next survivor here with the scratch marks in this tile. Not really sure where exactly the survivor is located, and that's why we are going back. And hence I do believe if we do get the elimination here down to 2 survivors with this gen setup, that would be a very luxury position for our killer.
Yes, that was a very dominant performance so far, and there's not a lot of gen pressure coming out from the survivors. One of them is kind of hovering the Anok, the other one is trying to do a gen that is only halfway, and this survivor will die here. And well, if the Blight goes to the right generator, then it's going to be very hard to get another one here. Extremely dominant performance.
Absolutely. Performance is so great, and it does something with Tree Trick and Godkan, right, that are remaining in the trial here. These two know exactly that they would at least like to get the 4th generator, because the win condition, pushing it to all gens done, allows your killer to at least play around the 3-gen. This would not be the case right now. The killer of Divine Dead would not be able to play around the 3-gen. So I do think, however this ends, even if it ends in a 4K, a 4th generator is kind of what you need here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an extremely easy win condition. And yeah, well, you can just do gens. You don't have to unlock anyone. If you do 4 gens, then you kind of win. So it would be crucial if the Feng maybe can get the other generator done, if this chase goes on for a little bit, but there doesn't seem to be much to work with. And there's another down. And looks like he is eyeing the right generator. This is where Feng was working on. I'm not sure if he's going to find it though. That is going to be the question.
Interesting to see his decision to go on the absolute outside of Ironworks here, expecting the Feng to pull back entirely, so potentially setting up for an end game play. Now we do see that Zarina is already standing again. Not sure if that was a very quick heal, but it seems like, or at least an inner healing might be there on the other side of the Ironworks. A very quick one. Got Khan here entering the shack, going to take it easy. Feng is, I believe, on the a little bit far away, so that might have been something, a rescue on their own here. So let's see how they are going to split up now. Our killer is trying to catch the... Oh, Feng was over here, so it was a pickup indeed. I was just mixing up the map here. So next chase coming out. Godkan, though, was close by as well. So when Godkan is going down here quickly, Feng didn't made it really far. So potentially we can do a double slug here if he does manage to catch the Feng once again.
But it looks like he doesn't want to take any risks. Check the gens again. There's nothing to risk. If he manages to get the 4K with 2 generators remaining, then it's super easy to play for a survivor team. So he definitely wants to make sure that there's no gen being sneaked anywhere. And look, we found the Feng on the generator. Can we get the tag with this rushes? Oh, that was a great rush. Barely getting the tag in. Very nice. And inner strength coming out from Zarina. So now Feng goes upstairs in the main, yeah. That is a very good spot to hide in. It's very hard to read the rushes for Blight. And going again for the Zarina, bouncing back and forth.
Back and forth between Feng and Zarina now. Feng at the same time, she's doing a great job hiding there at the top of the main building, but she does need the 4th gen! But Zarina doing a good job not getting injured here, so our killer has to pull back now. Can't injure her to locate her easier in the end game with the screams or the blood trials that are dropped by the survivor. We do see the next one coming out over here, dropping the pallet early. Our killer thinking about working around it, and he does go for it. What a wonderful rush onto Tree Trick here. Zarina potentially not expecting a quick down like that, might be caught in the mid part of the Ironworks of Misery here, and we do see how important this win condition is. Keeping 2 generators up would be such a great one for Team Masters, so he is trying everything in his power to catch the Zarina. He's checking outside of the Ironworks of Misery as well, probably. Important to note, if you would go for the Zarina and if you lose the track of Tree Trick, you only lose 1 point now, but it seems like even that is not going to be riskier.
It seems like we wanna... No. Okay, yeah, he wants to hook her and then... That was interesting. And probably go for hatch close. This survivor is still on the first stage, and it's gonna take a full minute before she can even try to let go to give hatch, but it looks like they're going for the unhook again. Interesting. Well, they don't have much gen progress. It's gonna be... Oh! The arena has been spotted. This is gonna be hard to get anything done now. Did she though? No. Did the Blight not see them? Oh, interesting. They sneaked the unhook barely.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that is a big deal here. That Zarina wasn't caught earlier, not injured yet. God Khan once again able to run the Blight a little bit longer here. Tree Trick injured, is now going to leave as fast as possible. Are they going to make it? Zarina is taking the tag here. The drop down didn't help, but at least she's in a better position now. Can potentially work a little bit with this window here. Feng needs to be on a generator right here if they are trying to pull anything. Otherwise, only the end game strategy can be something for them. Zarina is going down. Feng, where are you? That's going to be the big question here. She's injured, so easy to target. Feng, in my opinion, relatively loud as well. Easier to track than other survivors, especially because of the high pitch of the voice. And it did seem like for a second that our killer spotted her, but I don't think he actually did. So Divine Dead turning into stealth masters here.
Wow, looks like this duo is doing very well right now. Continuously surviving. They're not getting much gen progress though. And the Feng looks to be right next to the generator. Is he gonna spot her? That is the question. No, he's running right by her, probably looking for the Zarina again to make sure he doesn't lose track of the slug. And now he decided to pick and probably looking for a hatch close.
Yeah, it's really interesting now to see how they are going to set this up. I mean, they do have the advantage. If Feng is hiding, there's no way out. So an endgame play is not completely impossible as in other circumstances. Ironworks of Misery also, if you are lucky. I haven't seen both exit gates yet, but the main building can be a really helping factor, breaking line of sights between the two exit gates. But if I'm not absolutely mistaken, they are both more towards the bottom side, right?
Yeah, I think so. They were relatively close together. Honestly, something that a Blight can definitely control. So I think our Blight player is looking to probably... No, he wants to make absolutely sure. He's slugging. There's no reason not to. He's just making sure that he's getting his win condition for his team. Can he track the Zarina though? That is the real question. Does he still know where she is?
It always looks like he knows. He's always going so confident in a straight line across the map that I'm like, he saw her, this is the end now. But then they managed once again to stay stealthy here, and now even the outside of Ironworks does not have the answer. So Zarina and Tree Trick both absolutely insane when it comes to stealthing. So guys, if you need a few tips about stealthing in your Swift, then Divine Dead is definitely the team you should watch. We do see an inner healing once again, and the adrenaline coming out as well. So it almost sounds like ideal. You have the survivor that is able to heal now. You have the adrenaline on this survivor as well for a little bit of a sprint burst potentially. So if you go for an endgame strategy, the way it works right now seems to be perfect.
So now Zarina here, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be able to piece it together and realize that this was inner strength and the totem has been cleansed. But it doesn't really do much for him. The bleed out is halfway down now, and yeah, he wants to close the hatch. That seems like the safer option right now. And this hook is very close to it. So he can control everything from there. Yeah, he's probably not going to use his rushes and just stay safe and then look to close the hatch here.
Yeah, getting the elimination now, staying close by, I agree. Then the 5 rushes, because what we have seen quite often is that the survivors are just sometimes playing a little bit of poker, 50-50. They position themselves on an exit gate as soon as the hatch is closed. They are going for the exit switch, knowing basically, as you mentioned, like the Blight being very speedy, especially if the exit gates are closer together, you have no chance. Once the Blight is in the midsection, you have no chance anymore, and this is exactly what they take here as well. They're going to gamble on the 50-50, so as soon as the hatch is going to be closed, they're going to hop onto this exit door, and then we can only pray for the killer of Master that is going to pick the right one. Tree Trick is trying to die as quick as possible, but the game not giving him a skill check, unfortunately, so our Godkan has to wait a little bit longer. So does our killer. Now, this is going to be insane, because if the Blight is going to the other door, I actually think our survivor is going to escape.
I'm not sure how close they are nearby. Blight can travel a lot of distance. Oh, this is bad. And now the choice has been made. Is he checking the right one? He saw that one? Or he can check both. Okay. He can check both from there. Wow, that's going to be easy for him. He can dash to either door as soon as the light goes on, and that should be it. And I'm sure the Zarina realizes that too now. But there's no way to get this, sadly.
Yeah, this is the moment where you expect a little bit more from the main building, standing there so big and dominant on the ironworks. Like, this is the moment where you say, map designers, can you not move that a few centimeters down here? So next time I'll get it. Very unfortunate here, but yeah, here's a perfect location to spot this. Godkan was closed, hasn't touched the exit gate yet, went for it now, but we do have the 5 rushes, so I do think the final challenge for our survivor could be to go down to the end game timer, but not to the killer, which would change nothing about the scoring, but at least getting back a little bit of confidence here. But even that stealthing now doesn't work anymore, because our killer is aiming confidently towards the 4K, but hence we do get a final 1v1.
Oh, yes. Is he gonna be able to? Yeah. No, that was a good Blight play. Okay. I am very impressed with the Blight performance so far. He played this very well, and the main building didn't seem to be much of a factor this game. This is gonna be... Oh, the window tech try. Very nice try. Sadly didn't work.
Nothing for the compilation.
No,
unfortunately. But yeah, it's crazy, right? You talk about the Blight performance. He did so great. He put up an amazing win condition. They can basically ignore a 3-gen here and just get 4 generators done in the upcoming game. And I think the most important thing to mention is we are on Ironworks. The teams had 24 hours to prepare for this, and Ironworks is not at all a typical competitive map for Blight. So under this spotlight, the Blight performance is even greater to me.
Absolutely, very dominant.
Yeah, scores coming in by our wonderful team in the background. Master 28, Divine Dad with 6 points here, so win condition very, very clear. Divine Dad needs to repair 4 generators in the upcoming trial, and that upcoming trial, ladies and gentlemen, is waiting for you in just a few moments. Welcome back, everyone, to the Ironworks of Misery, the substitute map for the Blight for this weekend here, since the Blood Lodge is not available in the game at the moment, and the win condition is really, really great. For Team Master on the Survivor side, they do need 4 generators. You heard that right. 4 generators after perfect killer performance, and that means they can technically ignore a 3-gen here on this map against an ST killer. That's the most wonderful win condition you can have, and that first chase here from Marco is also starting off really, really well, but unfortunately Marco is getting lost in the rock there, didn't really aim towards the pallet, but quick tag is ending up in the shack, so he could still stay alive a little bit longer.
It was looking good until it wasn't, but he's getting time for the team to do gens, and this is inside the corrupted area, and because of the win con being so loose, it's actually, this is not a bad start for the Survivor side so far, but is this lucky break coming out? I think the Fang has been lost actually.
That's crazy. That is really, really great here from Marco, pulling the lucky break onto the Blight, and yeah, that is so punishing. Hence he has to go all the way back towards the top side. We're 90 seconds into the trial, first generator done, and we haven't even it down yet.
Yep, this is looking extremely rough. Master, it's always easy if you have such a win condition in your back. You always you can be more confident in your plays, and it oftentimes leads to such starts. And this is looking like a, I mean, it's not the worst chase, but oh, that was a good mind game though. Matt being downed, but is this really fast enough? That's the question.
Yeah, right, because there's so much going on the Survivor side. They had time to heal, they had time to finish a generator, and I'm very certain that there are at least 1 or 2 additional generators that have a great amount of progress here. The Dying Light is a very understandable strategy. You want to go for the slowdowns as quick as possible, but you do need a perfect early game for it, getting these stages together, so the penalty is actually coming in clutch, and that's not at all going to be the case just yet. Meadow5, the first hooked survivor here, and our killer has to go all the way towards the bottom of the Ironworks of Misery, and he also doesn't even have the time to camp Meadow5 or secure any stages, and even a tunnel out doesn't really work because Marco needs to be chased once more, so we need basically a 2-tap here.
Yep. Every rush has to land from now on to have a chance, and this is gonna be hard. He's playing the pallet. Oh, so close. He nearly got it on the 4-lane pallet, but Feng, being experienced and knows what she's doing, her running into another pallet. Good setup for her. Very clean place. Not leaving her up to chance. Yeah, this is gonna be rough.
Back into 4th, but this time the patience of Marco is going to end in the disadvantage for him. 2 survivors over here. Maybe we can land a tag from the killer. Could have aimed towards the outside there onto the survivor, but decided to break the pallet. Getting rid of the resources is something that can come out as a benefit here in the mid game, and this is a little bit out of position by Mad05, the survivor that was already hooked so far. Second generator coming out, but if he finds Mad05 on top, then he's pulling back a lot of control over the Ironworks here, and that is looking good now. Mad05 60 seconds away from elimination, since he's going to go into the struggle phase. Marco had to be picked up, so 1 survivor busy there, 1 survivor finished the gen, so there's not much going on the side of Master now.
That was definitely a slip up. Now the gen is gonna get popped again, eruption applied, and but yeah, there's still gens. You can only allow 1 more gen to go here. Can you really control the soak? Not really. You need to get a lot of stages now, and exactly now. So the injuries have to get out. So the unhook is coming through. I'm not sure if it's fast enough to tunnel out here. I think he's asking himself the same question, but there's pretty much no option here. Can he maybe deny the deliverance? No, he's dying from. Very nice.
Mad05 is in a difficult spot here. I was a little bit worried. I was just staring at the screen here because I saw he's going back in place, but he made it. Okay, Mad05 is going to stay in the game a little bit longer, and that's going to have a huge impact on the gameplay of Master now, because they are going to stay 4 survivors and will be able to work on the generators with way more spread pressure here. Going down towards the shack, once more checking on this generator. We do see a survivor over here, but not a lot of progress. Fang missing, unfortunately. A second too late when hopping into this one, and this is not going to be enough. Yeah, you send a little greeting to the killer, but you will be punished with the pop goes to Weasel nonetheless. So that's going to be a little bit of a setback here for Team Master. Potentially someone is going to rotate over to take an eye onto the generator here, but with the hooked survivor right next to it, our killer is slowly preparing a great setup. The only issue is we need basically 8 additional stages right now only for the tie.
Yeah, he will have to do wonders. There are other generators in the works. He can't really stay in the area here. This is going to be really hard. 2 survivors being full health. No one had to unhook the Adam. He used Deliverance to get off the hook. And now there are 2 different gens being progressed. If the stages don't come out literally right now, it's going to be extremely hard. There are more pallets to delay the Blight further. And now he's just running behind with no real chance.
Hard setup, but oh, it looked like a nice juking there around the trees. Marco going down, unfortunately. Eruption going to kick in on 2 generators here. Our killer does decide that he has the time to go for the pickup, getting another kick of Pop Goes to Weasel. We do see 1 survivor in the distance there on the northern side, working on the generator. You have to rush over there. At the same time, you cannot stop the unhook and the progression of the generator close to the hook here, and the survivor left early enough to make it towards the pallet. Our Blight has to go to the absolute corner and will face the pallet being thrown down here. You have 3 injuries. There's a lot of potential for a snowball, a lot of potential for at least a double slug here with Adam and Nia, but the survivor is too confident at the moment and also playing way too safe.
Yeah, Master being an extremely experienced team, they know what they're doing, they know how to split the map properly, and they're gonna make it as hard as possible for the Blight. And at this point, he has to pressure so many points at once. If one of those generators goes, then it's all over, and that is sadly the win condition. So that is going to be the win already. And the gen is also really close to being done.
Yeah, I was just jumping in there because I felt like it's so worth pointing out, right? The Blight here played so good.
Yeah.
It was just that the survivors were not giving him any room to play better than what he showed us.
Absolutely. Like, if you're in such a scenario where the win condition is so hard, it's incredibly hard to play from that, and you'll also do things that might look weird from an outsider's perspective, but you have to play extremely greedy. Everything has to go right, and that's just how you have to play into your outs. Sadly, it didn't work out this time, but I think it was still a great performance. He also had probably one of the worst spawns possible. He spawned upstairs in the main building. He had to go all the way down. That wastes 5 seconds. And yeah, it was just a really rough position to be in, and the 1k coming through, yeah.
And this punishment at the end is really hard, though. I don't think he deserved to be 3-outed. That was, I mean, really insane play by the survivors here pulling this, especially with the Fang there going towards the shack, taking the hatch. So great performance by Master, and I am happy for them because Master had a difficult Season 8, but never with a bad performance. Same as the Blight here from Divine Dead. Master was always playing well. Master was always doing what they could, always trying to find alternative solutions. And the score looks really, really clear for Divine Dead now as well. It's 44-21 against them. So it looks like Divine Dead was facing an absolute dominance here by Team Master. And Team Master definitely played well, but Divine Dead played also really, really good. And the Blight of Divine Dead, given the win condition on Ironworks, played really, really well. So the 3-man escape potentially hitting Divine Dead a little bit harder than it was supposed to. Master definitely going into the second set with the Spirit with great confidence here. Hence, short question before we set the next setup. Divine Dead taking a difficult loss here in the Blight set. Master coming in with confidence. Do you think, considering that Master is staying on the Survivor side and just played really great, that this is going to impact the Spirit set a lot?
Oh, absolutely. If you're coming off a win of a set, you always have that momentum boost. Everyone is happy, and it's just way easier to play out and make plays. Everyone is confident. It's always good to be up 1-0, but that confidence can also lead to to bad things. So you have to be, you have to keep going and make sure to be safe and play it safe.
Yeah, we'll see what Master and Divine Dead are going to do with this. Divine Dead definitely under pressure now after the brilliant 1-0 by Master, and we are setting up the next trial, and we'll be back for you after a short break.
Alright, welcome back to the second set of our Master vs Divine Dead series, and we are looking at Tree Trick playing Spirit, coming out strong out of the spawn, finding the first survivor already, and the first phase coming in. It's a very strong start, finding Meadow5 and getting the first hit instantly, and not wanting... No, he's still on it, yeah.
That is trying back and forth, but unfortunately 5 volts do not work out for Meadow5 here. That's the first down, and it's such a quick one. Here we do have a few percentages and a few generators. Maybe if they double up, they can maybe pull something towards 60 or 70, but Pop Goes the Weasel is also going to come in, and that's going to be a punishing factor onto the generator right here. Another survivor just left it. Quick save though, great work here by Team Master to reply to that. Not allowing the Spirit to come back too quickly, but it doesn't matter anyway because Tree Trick immediately out for the tunnel here.
Ooh, that is a very, very strong start. There's not much gen progress at all. Eruption on one of the first generators that's being progressed, but the main building of Cold Tower very strong to hold the tunnel out back, especially if you use the window. Oh, barely not. Now we're deciding to open it up. So because of the stagger, it is very strong to repeatedly use this window from the top. He's not falling for it. Oh, he is. That was off. No, was that a death hard being used by Meadow5? Very.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I think it was a death hard. Wow, that was very well used.
This reaction time by Meadow5 is crazy here to get that into a longer chase, because look how punishing that is. It is almost 10 to 12 seconds here, including the time you need to travel towards the hook, because Matt has died outside on the Cold Tower. Unfortunately, there's a hook close by, but the theory is there, and the seconds have been there as well. One generator at least secured for Team Master. We do see a lot of progress over here as well. Unfortunately, going to be stopped, but distraction coming in. You can't apply the Pop Goes to Weasel kick just yet, because otherwise you would grant a free unhook here towards Adam. Meadow5 will be in a difficult spot, but we do start off with the patience game. That's going to be won by Pedro. It's going to end in a trade, but I do think Hens, our killer, is just going to get Meadow5 out of the game.
This is good pacing, even though Meadow5 had a great second chase delaying by a long time. Ooh, he barely got the pallet drop. This is quite an early kill if it was to come through, if this chase would be successful. And he's gonna make it to Shack, however, so there's gonna be another god pad that he can probably drop. Is he though? No. He barely doesn't get it. And that is possibly a kill. No, the decisive strike coming through. Now he can drop this pallet. This is going to delay him a lot, actually. And there's still a death hard to play with, so this phase pretty much has to hit. And it looks like he managed to avoid it.
Yeah, I was about to say, we hear him over here, but Meadow5 once again managing to stay alive. This is the POV, you tunnel out the wrong survivor Tree Trick.
Absolutely.
Meadow5 pulling all the resources, the pallets, the decisive strike, great stunts, even here with a fake to stand in the pallet, and then just holding W. If he makes that, oh, that would have been a great chance, but eventually Meadow5 going down. And I remember that 2 minutes ago we talked about this would be an early kill.
Oh my god.
We had
This turned into a nightmare very quickly, honestly. Meadow5, honestly, the first chase was pretty bad, but then he managed to pull it back for sure with the next two, including it, yes. So it was probably a bit intentional that he played more aggressive, and he was in the first chase. Because of his perks with Death Hard and yes, he was pretty hard to kill. And wow, this is, even if Adam goes down here, we are looking at 6 stages, but he might be able to get the hatch here. Does his team leave in time? This is very close. No, barely not. Alright.
Unfortunately not, but this would have been crazy. And the fact that it's just a few seconds away from the possibility... Well,
I think this is the Deliverance player, by the way. So this is definitely not very safe here. He's slugged right next to the hatch. He probably has Unbreakable too. This is a very hard position for the Spirit to be in. He might as well... Nothing is secure right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, we have a very difficult situation here for our killer. Exit gates ready to go, survivors staying inside. So you can smell it. We are going towards the exit gate as far away as possible. The hook stage coming in, but it's a rough distance, Hens. Do you think they can?
Yeah, he can definitely do it. He can go to hatch or the gate, and once the Nia leaves, there are no options anymore. Because if she closes the hatch, she can go to the gate. What? Oh my god, that is actually great zoning by the Spirit. Okay, she managed to get out of that situation. I am surprised. They didn't go for body blocks. They want to give him the hatch, but sadly, they didn't get it. 6 stages, that is... I mean, that's a really good performance from Survivor side. Nonetheless, very easy to match. And yeah, looking good.
Absolutely, especially since we have the 6 stages only on 2 survivors. Yeah. So Meta5 could even go for 6 stages on 3 survivors, and that would be enough. You don't necessarily need 7 here, but I agree. I think there was a little bit of pressure on the shoulders of our final Deliverance survivor here, because he was a little bit unsure between Shack and Exit Gate. As you mentioned, he had the chance to go for one or the other because the Spirit had to make a decision. Unfortunately, he was a little bit unsure and double backed a couple of times, and this then ended in losing distance and time to pull the out here. But nonetheless, amazing performance. 6 stages on the Spirit here for Team Master. They are on an absolute wave of motivation and great mindset right now. Meadow5, a very experienced Spirit, is going to take the responsibility in trial number 4. So we will see if Master is bringing it home with a 2-0. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We are back after a short break. Come back to the potentially last trial between Master and Divine Dead, because Master has set themselves in a very luxury position. The killer Meadow 5 on the Spirit needs 7 stages, and even 6 stages can be enough if they are split on 3 individual survivors. And it does seem like Meadow 5, one of the last standing Spirit mains, who's currently getting a little bit of spotlight there from the Divine Dead players from the main building, is spotting the first 2 survivors. Actually, there is going to be Sprint Burst Anderson found first, but Meadow 5 going to catch up quickly here. We are going in chase on the main building. Meadow 5 realizing that he lost the track, does take an additional look, and that was a very, very generous hit dedication there by the servers, but he does have the injury, now has to play around the pallet, and a very nice quick down to start things off.
Wow, that was a very good chase. Getting the Sprint Buster first is always a good sign in this environment, because there's a high chance you got the Deliverance player who doesn't have any anti-tunnel, and this is a basement hook, very strong, especially considering that he doesn't have to jump that high. He only needs to kill 2 survivors and get 1 more additional stage, and that is it. He can definitely stay around this area. Also, very interesting add-on choice, going for activation speed instead of duration. Very unusual. That is a very high progress gen. Yeah, wanting to apply the pop. Does he get punished? Doesn't look like it. He can keep his hook and pop the gen. Even aggressively looking for the chase. Alright.
Yeah, they are really looking forward to it here. Meadow 5 not going to take it, maybe realizing there was a little bit of a bait to get him away from the basement there. The save coming in at the same time, losing track of the survivors, so that does mean they are somewhere behind the main building, haven't moved forward too far yet, trying to hide the survivor that was on the hook, and they are doing a good job here. Seems like they took tutorials from their previous game, where they were hiding so good with Tree Track and Godkan in the end game. Meadow 5 actually losing a lot of time here checking the basement. That's going to be a generator lost, more progress onto this one, so needs needs to watch out now that the second chase is going to be a quick down. Otherwise, he's losing some very valuable time here.
It feels like he overextended a tiny bit too much. He could have played it safe. He chose not to. Now there's a gen popping and one more with very high progress, and he doesn't know where the injured Ada is. Well, we will definitely need an injury here soon. Finding the Rebecca. Does she have a pallet? She does. This is gonna be hard for him.
Let's go aggressively back to the generator. Actually, I was like, maybe he's going to try get the 2-tap here towards the main building, but Manox is going to be the next survivor in chase, dropping the survivor early. We do see now the activation charge in speed coming in clutch here. The interesting add-on choice from Matt. It seems like he really sees the benefit in playing around these little loops here, getting to use the power a little bit quicker. We are rotating over towards the shack, a very safe tile, dropping the pallet early as well, trying to waste as much time as possible, probably knowing that the survivors are currently working on that generator they lost previously to Bob Goes the Weasel, trying for the 50-50s on the pallet, but unfortunately getting lost. That's going to be another generator, but it was not the one with the high progress, so potentially a third generator is on its way here.
Yeah, this hook is on the other side of the map entirely, so he will need to rotate back around, and it's looking... it's not looking rough, but he needs to get stuff going here. Every survivor's full health, so they're not making injured noises. He needs to hit this face. Good walk by Ada, barely not getting hit. Still has his pop goes to the Weasel, but it looks like he doesn't want to apply it. Very well done, short face. He gets his power back instantly again. And can he land this?
Hopefully he has to. He really has to land this, because the Pop Goes the Weasel kick is now lost because he was forced to get a quick down onto this survivor, and Godkan doing a phenomenal work here on this tile, keeping Mado5 busy for another 20, 30, almost 40 seconds now. The time is running. We do need 7 stages. That is way more difficult than it sounds like as a spirit. He does get the down eventually. The third generator though is on the way, and we just remember the previous trial, how quick it can go. When you feel like, oh, I have 2 or 3 generators remaining, you can be instantly in the end game just a couple of seconds later. Matt realizes that, is pushing the survivors towards the top side here, trying to keep the 3-gen that is available here on the right and left of the main building. Comp players would call that 1, 12 and 11 to everyone who's coming out new onto DBDLeague here. But this now looks a little bit better. I do feel a little bit less worried about Mado5 now, because he found his generator setup. He does get some use of it by hooking inside here. So, and the injury, he's now looking in forward for a good setup in more hook stages.
So, in theory, if he were to get this Rebecca, then it is looking... Oh, he barely doesn't hit it. Then it would be looking good, because of the great performance of his survivor team, he does not have to do that much anymore. And if this down goes fast, he's in a really good spot. Yep. Eruption procking on the gen, unlocking another pop goes to the Weasel. This is a very strong 2-gen situation to be in. And he's, looking to hook next to it, another pop. Very strong position. So in theory, he could secure this hook. If he were to secure this Rebecca all the way, that would be a win for him.
Yeah, and that's the crazy power of a 3-gen, right? If you do set up the right generators on the top side, especially on the cold tower, it's such a common 3-gen. The main building, right and left of the tile, sometimes it can even be a 4-gen if you pull one of these right or left-sided generators in. And realizing that as a killer is one thing, but you need to be able to push the survivors towards that setup, and this is a work Mado5 has executed really, really brilliant here. It is now the reward he can basically take from the hook location. He has chosen that tree trick, potentially going into the second stage, because Mado5 is close by, already chasing the next survivor. Doesn't go for the camp though, he wants to earn it in a normal way, we could call it, so that's going to end in a lot of plus reps on Mado5's Steam profile later on, but the next chase coming out, and I feel like Hens I don't know how it feels for you, but with every single phase, it feels like Meadow 5 is getting stronger here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's in the driving position here. If he gets this one down, oh, that was a death hard, very well done. Then he's looking to secure his win condition in the set. Pop goes to the Weasel, playing a great role. That one gen was so high progress, Pop twice, and it's back to nothing. And yeah, this is the 6th hook stage. The gen is coming through, but this is all he has to get.
Yeah, this one is going to be the win if he can secure that. Menox on the hook, Meadow 5 looking around. Pop goes to Weasel is not needed anymore. Interesting to see, though, we have to say that. Confident Meadow 5 not going to take any endgame perk. Usually, when it comes down to securing hook stages, we always see something like no one escapes death, or at least a no way out, in order to have a backup plan if something is going wrong. So the fact that Meadow 5 didn't pick any of these shows what a confident spirit he is, and he does stick up to the expectations we set. One of the last remaining spirit mains in competitive Dead by Daylight. With the Godkhan injured, it's also going to be more difficult to pull a team rescue here. Tree Trick and Ace would need to come in. Elay would need to rotate in right now to get the rescue. I do see a little bit of movement, so they are definitely in for that, because basically if it would fail now, it was your final chance anyway. Is that going to land for him? A little bit of double backing here. Things looked a little bit too easy for Meadow 5. Maybe he was a little bit too confident, rotating once more to the survivor over here, but that is Godkhan, if I'm not mistaken. That should be the healthy survivor, or mixing up these. No, it's one of the injured survivors. Okay, then it's an understandable decision here, but a lot of chaos going on here in the end game. That doesn't look too much like a confident ending.
No, absolutely not. This kind of turned around, but all he has to do is make sure that this Nia does not A, get healed, or B, escape, and then he's gonna be fine. The team is helping out though. Nia, one of the loudest survivors, easier to track. And where did she go? Did she go behind the main building again? It looks like it. Yep. He is back on her. Oh, did someone open the gate? Oh my god, the gate is open!
There's no way.
No.
There is no
They got it.
way.
Okay.
They got it. They got it. Hence, they got it.
Oh
Last
my god.
second. They're pulling it. And we were talking about it twice. Earlier, when he hooked on the right side of main building, you said all he has to do now is basically securing the dead. Meadow 5 is moving away, trying to get another fresh hook, or one of the survivors catching in a normal way. Yeah, that looks really great, but sometimes it's better to just stay with what you got. And then in the end game, once again, he gets the injury. He has to protect the hook, and what happens is the team, Divine Dead, is coming in, pulling it against the odds, and then this very chaotic end game ending in outing from Divine Dead. 31-29 for them, so we actually need the tiebreaker. And now, hence, the difficult thing is, I do believe that Meadow 5 is also the nurse. Yeah, it is the nurse player for Master. You just played the Spirit game. You had it in your hands. You let it slip. Now you have to play nurse straight again. How do you go into the upcoming trial?
I mean, that is definitely not going to be easy. You can tell he was definitely confident. He didn't go for no-it. No endgame perks at all. I wonder if that cost him in the end. But he's also a very, very experienced nurse. He's been around the scene for a very, very long time. And I think he knows what to do on Nurse Cold Tower. But it's definitely that this needs a mental reset and making sure that he's fresh for the next games.
The mental reset is a good explanation here. That is something they need to do. Master will need a good talk. They will need a good rebuild talk, we have to say, into Meadow 5's confidence here. We'll see if they can take a good break, if they can make what's necessary here in terms of next steps. We will see Meadow 5 on the nurse, on the Cold Tower, ladies and gentlemen, after a short break.
Alright, welcome back to the third set of Master vs Divine Dead. Meadow 5 having to go straight again with the nurse on Cold Tower. A very classic matchup, and he already found the first survivor, but he doesn't quite connect the blink. Very fast start for him, however, and that is probably a light coming out. Oh, barely missing the swing. This is not the best start ever. No surprise on the parks for him. Alright, first hit being secured. On the ace, who's making his way to the corrupted area. Nothing surprising there. Wanting to play the pallet, but he's gonna go down. Very nice, first down. In a quite timely manner. Thrilling Tremors is gonna tell him exactly which gens they're working on. And yeah, there's 2 gens. Very nice.
Getting a little bit of info here now very early is important. I'm a little bit worried of how far he's trying to bring this survivor, but it did work out for him. A pop close to Weasel going to deny the generator right here. But yeah, he got the down relatively quickly, but I think we saw a little bit of the pressure that is laying on the shoulders after losing that spirit set last second here. Matt now needs to pick up the confidence again, needs a couple of good blinks, needs very quick downs and getting the hook stages together in order to progress these survivors towards the elimination here. Checks the outside, extra careful, wants to make sure that they are not going for an instant rescue, but it seems like Divine Dead will pull it anyway, working in the back of him as well here on a generator with 80% in the main building. Quite an important one on the coal tower to prevent the 3-gen to spawn. It seems like Meadow 5 is just going to go for the second stage here, which in my eyes makes kind of sense here.
Yes, absolutely, especially because there's one survivor hovering the unhook, but he will not be able to get it because Meadow 5 is staying right by the hill, and that survivor is not working in generator, and the ace has been hooked right next to one that has progress that fully rests now. Eruption is still active. It's gonna be very hard to get a lot of gen progress. This is a very good start. Now the unhook coming through, and for the people, but instantly getting tagged. The ace probably looking to make his way to the bottom side of the map to get as far away from the active gens as possible, but it's gonna be hard to have a long chase in this scenario. Oh, it's this lucky break coming out, but he's being spotted anyway. No long chase, no.
Unfortunately not. Lucky break seems to be very much something Divine Dead is putting their focus on. Every time we have an important chase, they somehow manage to have this survivor, the one with the lucky break, either the one that is found first or the one that is tunneled out first. So other teams are playing around with a decisive strike. For example, for Divine Dead, it seems to be the lucky break they are throwing in terms of strategy. Really interesting to see that, but unfortunately the next injured survivor is immediately found after the elimination came through, and that's going to be 2 survivors standing in the trial now, working on the generators. One of them has to potentially pull away to go for the hook rescue here, so that would be only if she has Daddy up. We get the confirmation from the background. There is indeed deliverance, so that's the good news. They can go for the generators here, and looking onto 3 generators while a survivor is already eliminated, I do feel like deliverance has a very important impact here.
Absolutely, but the gen progress is, I don't think, is very high for the survivor side. It's going to be very hard to repair every generator here. But maybe, okay, this survivor is trying to stealth away. If they're not being found here, that would be very good for them. Probably being hidden. Now, Meadow 5 is going to try to find the stealthing survivor. Looks like they got away very early. Maybe they can sneak a little bit of gen progress in here. These 4 generators are relatively close together. It's probably going to be very hard to get those done, but I'm sure they're going to try.
Meadow 5 trying to take control back by going towards the midsection here, kind of looking towards left and right, trying to find the survivors, but Divine Dead giving him a difficult time by staying hidden and playing this very, very carefully. They don't want Matt to be able to go instantly into the chases. We do see them run all the way towards the outside of the coal tower, taking as much distance and wasting as much time from the killer as possible here. Ada once again going to take the injury here. Manox, a good runner against the nurse, but unfortunately not going to stay with the win here on this pallet mind game. Meadow 5 now gaining the confidence back that we missed in the early game. We talked about it, a few whiffs here and there. Looked a little bit with trouble after the difficult spirit defeat he took in the previous trial. Seems to come out more confident now on the nurse set, and he will really need that, because Divine Dead not giving him too much wiggle room, staying on the generators. He has a good chance now with the pop goes to Weasel, taking care of another generator, and if he detects the next survivor relatively quickly, then he finally took the dominance over the Cold Tower map here.
Oh, because of the eruption proc, we saw the Rebecca heal another survivor, so both survivors were on the bottom side of the map for a bit, so there's no one sneaking the generator at the top. That's good info for Matt. He's probably happy to stay around the area now, and it's going to be extremely hard for the survivors to get much done in this position.
We do see them sneaking up here a little bit. Ada doesn't want to touch the generator too early because potentially she could reveal her location, but 80% on the generator over here. Now, Divine Dead picking up the efficiency again. Wasn't expecting any generator to have that much progress. Meadow5 going back, securing another second stage potentially here on Menox, and that's kind of okay for him because the survivors are not pulling something really crazy to put him under pressure. Yeah, they get a generator, and that's really important for them on their side, but they are not putting enough pressure to dictate what Meadow5 can do and what he can't. So staying around the hook, securing the second stage is definitely a good play for him. We have seen Ada hiding behind the generator, so she wasn't efficient either. Of course, Meadow5 doesn't know that, but due to the fact that Godkhan hasn't touched any generator in the past minute, there's even more working out for Matt, and the game sense on this one, the return to the hook is actually really incredible.
That was perfect timing on the blink, and he's deciding to hook the Ada. I think he knows that there's not much progress on any of the generators. He checked all 4, and he can carry this hook deep inside the middle of the gens. Also seeing scratch marks on the one gen over there, so now he knows everyone's position. There's not much going on there. Ooh, seeing the Rebecca. Very nice, that is a fast hit. And probably, no, he wants to play it safe. He's going back to the hook. Smart decision.
He's arguing with himself, holding the blink, trying to catch potentially a better option here, but decides eventually to go back, and that makes a lot of sense now. 20 seconds away from the elimination here, 20 seconds away from cutting another survivor from Divine Dead. Treetrick and Menox both injured as well, so they will not be able to take longer chases. They will not be able to waste time from the killer, starting a generator from 0 here as well, fighting against the struggle that is Meadow5 putting up onto their shoulders here. And once again, same as in the Blight set, a 4th generator would be really important, because it does allow your survivor team in the final trial to ignore a 3-gen, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen right here so far. Meadow5 on a good speed, on a good pace, catching the survivors, so I think one more gen would be an absolute luxury outcome here.
Absolutely. It looks like there are going to be 2 gens remaining, but this is not as much of a crazy problem. This is not a rare result for NUS, even though very good for Meadow5. Definitely manageable and achievable for the NUS of Divine Dead.
Divine Dead, a team also, when we touch on Divine Dead, yeah, that is definitely going to be a troubling win condition there for them, potentially getting a 4K on 3 gens remaining if we stick with this result. But Divine Dead, one of the teams that has experienced survivors and killers, scrimming a lot of Nurse, always looking for practice against Nurse and as Nurse, so their killer definitely not here to be underrated. And sometimes we see, especially when the early game is being played very aggressively and the survivors being put very early under pressure, things can fall apart, especially on a map like Cold Tower where you have potentially a 3-4 gen on the main side. It can go all downhill very quickly. So Divine Dead definitely with something in their team's roster they can work on. Meadow5 keeps the slack of Menox, wants to find Treetrick here, who's potentially now setting himself up for an end game play. We see them stealthing once again here at the corner towards the bottom side. It doesn't look like they want to necessarily go for the pickup here. The distance is quite high. We don't see any significant movement coming out from Treetrick, so probably another gamble for the exit doors.
It does look like it. Rebecca also being a fresh hook, so MATHIS really wants this Rebecca. Would be disastrous if he wouldn't get it. But no, he's probably, yeah, he's still looking all around the map. Rebecca, a very quiet survivor, is going to be very hard to be heard.
There she is now. Moved a little bit closer towards the teammate, but unfortunately not making any significant distance closure yet. Not close enough to sprint over and go for the pickup. Matt really close, coming closer and closer now. As you mentioned, from the audio of the survivor, definitely a good character to hide here, and he is leaving once again. So not having an idea yet, but seeing the movement of Tree Trick, it does seem like they want to go for a pickup, if I'm not mistaken.
I think what they actually want to do is called the trauma tech. Oh, he's being faulted.
Yeah, right?
He's on the block.
Yeah.
That is it for Rebecca, sadly. 4K at 2 generators remaining. Very good result from MATHIS. Dominant performance all around.
And I really like to see it, right? Because we just talked about it. The spirit game for MATHIS was rough, losing the survivor last second here. So absolutely insane that he's able to come back with so much confidence and with such a good performance. He had all reasons to feel a little bit nervous. That was a very long scream. Was that intended? That sounded like a little sound issue there. Maybe Divine Dad is already realizing what difficult situation is awaiting for them, because we do need a 4K with maximum 2 completed generators in the upcoming trial. And yeah, that's possible as a nurse, but it's one hell of a difficult challenge.
Absolutely, a lot of things have to go right to achieve it.
Crazy good work by MATHIS. We could almost say that he's a master on the nurse when we look at his performance here today. Master is going to feel really good, and I hope that they keep building him up, because after that spirit set, as we mentioned, an absolute great performance here on the coal tower. The survivors of Master are going to load in with such confidence into trial number 6. Win condition very clear. We have a 28-6, so we can only have 2 generators repaired for the survivor set of Master. So Divine Dad once again under pressure, once again needs to pull something crazy here. If they are able to do that, is something we are going to find out after the break.
Alright, and we are back to the very last match of our best of 3, in which Tree Trick has to pull some wonder. He has to 4K with no more than 2 generators done to win the set for his team. And this is a very good start. Already getting attack on Feng behind the main building. It's in the corrupted area, but it's very early. Oh, he did not quite recharge his blinks. And the Feng deciding to die in the corner, very tactically here, to give as little space as possible, to be expected.
Good first down coming out from Tree Trick. Just 11 more to go, and just 11 more downs before 3 generators or 4 generators have been repaired here. 3 would be the tie condition, and if you keep it on 3 remaining gens, you would win here. So big task ahead for Tree Trick. Good start though in regards to that. We do see once again the pop goes to Weasel Kick here. We'll try to find the generator to apply that one in best case, and looking around a little bit, expecting that a survivor would already move in towards the rescue onto the hook, and decides to stay close by. And considering how quick that first down came in, together with the fact that he has a 4-gen setup, it's actually a good choice to not move too far away, checking on the other edge of the main building as well for a survivor. So far I would say great understanding from the killer, but Master, even in this difficult situation, able to pull a sneaky unhook. Really well done.
Oh, he's trying to wait out exactly the 10 seconds, so maybe he can deny deliverance from Adam. I'm not sure if he got that, but Eruption popping on that 1 generator's progress. That was an early unhook. There are probably 2 more people on generators far away. So it's gonna be very hard to win this with only 2 generators done. But maybe he can play for the tie condition. It's gonna be rough though.
Adam needs to be quite careful here. Moving in from the generator can maximum work a little bit as a bait here since he is injured. Pale has to take responsibility but is forced away from tree track. So Adam with a risky decision. If he would move in, that would leave Matt05 as the survivor that has to go for it, but it doesn't seem to be the case right here. Tree Trick now in a difficult situation though, knows that the survivors are left and right of him. There's the second generator already, so they are doing a good work. 4K right now would be the win. 1 more gen would be the tie condition, so Master aiming for it, and very likely they could just sacrifice the friend here to get rid of the bottom generators.
This is not unplayable as a position for Tree Trick, but very rough. They're definitely getting all the gen pros that they can while Feng is dying on that hook. And they're gonna split the pressure. That gen is already 70%. It's gonna be rough to hold this, because the Shack gen is pretty much uncontrollable at this point, and that means he would need to hold all of those generators to get the tie condition. He's not even going for the right gen. I think the Adam is about to pop it. Oh, he doesn't know. He has to go there right now.
Yeah, speed it up, Tree Trick. No, that's not going to be the direction, and he does underestimate the efficiency that is coming out here from our survivors. Really, really amazing work. There it is in the corner next to the original hook. Now 3 generators done, so that is maximum the tie that can come out now if we would have the 4K right here. So 1 more generator for Team Master would seal the deal. We do see Pedro taking a quick down, being spotted after getting the generator done, but 2 survivors can still work on the generators. Could team up, could try to split the pressure. A good setup as well, and that's not even needed anymore because the 4th generator is already coming out. Master taking it in a 2-1, and that has quite some impact because, as we talked about it, Master not with the Season 8 they were looking for, but pulling it against a great team like Divine Dead with such a good performance is something why we love to watch Master, and that's also going to boost their confidence for all upcoming challenges.
Master having very, very incredible gen speed on the core tower sets. Extremely aggressive, and Tree Trick is not prepared for the Adam to be injured on the gen in the corner, which is understandable, but it's definitely gonna cost him. Ooh, good jukes by Pedro. The cracker being used. And, no, not quite. Eruption proccing though. They are playing for the honor, but Tree Trick definitely wants the best result possible. Still both survivors on Eruption. That's a lot of info for him.
Trying to predict the survivor in this one here. Does realize that they are going behind the main building, is catching up quickly. Pedro with the pickup here. We do see a little bit of destruction coming in on the main building, and now going to try to blink onto the Nia, but she does manage to stay alive a little bit longer. So Master even now still able to steal the second from the killer here and there. Going down now. Pedro potentially healed though if Meadow5 decided to go for a reset onto the teammate here. Hook stage number 5 coming out. Good work so far from both parties. Usually you would say that's quite a good nurse performance here, keeping the survivors busy, keeping them under control. It's just once again this incredibly difficult win condition that is giving the killers such a rough time.
Absolutely. Hard to match. This gen very high progress, but the buff pop definitely helping to keep it under control. Ooh, that was a risky blink. Sadly does not pay off. Meadow5 with a good movement there. And yeah, this is gonna be hard to control. Is he gonna commit this chase? I would guess not.
He's trying to check where his options are, realizes that the generator on the right side next to the main building had some progress, wants to make sure that they are not just getting the outs for free here. That as well, a very, very positive thing about Divine Dad. They are never taking or never not taking any challenge. They're never giving up fighting for the best whenever they are playing, and it's already decided they aim for the best result here. And Trick definitely opting to go for the 4K, and it doesn't look too bad right now. Obviously, there's a lot of more work to do, especially with Master now taking the reset there as well. MATHIS vaulting into the killer, a risky but well paying out strategy here. Trick was not expecting that, losing track a little bit. Would need to predict once again because MATHIS breaks line of sight after the window here. Good work by him. Now finally the injury applied onto the survivor, but Master, you're definitely up for an end game. It can go either side now.
Absolutely. That is a good gen progress. 2 survivors healthy. It's going to be very hard to control the gens. No pop goes to the Weasel. If we take the chase on the full head person, I would expect the gens to go. That was a really good double back by Pala, actually. Master really showing good movement against the nurse. And that is it. So the gens are done.
Next injury onto Pale, who's now trying to be hopefully the final survivor in chase for Team Master, maybe even making it towards the shack and the hatch as an additional escape. MATHIS and Pedro will try to leave the trial as quick as possible. Nurse with a good blink here, forcing him into a double back because they are taking the hill position. 1 pallet to work with. Is it going to be enough? Better not going for the double blink here, keeping it safe. Survivor still in reach of the shack, but it's going to be a little bit of waiting game. Trick expecting that the survivor would vault into him, and we do see a little bit of casual M1 nursing around the rock here in the end game. Who's going to stay the loser of this mind game? If that would be an M1 nurse with the Bloodlust, that would be crazy. Already losing it because he lost track of this survivor. And yeah, Trick and Pale in for a very interesting 1v1 here.
Something that is quite well. Ooh. Okay, now he had enough. But wait, is he gonna get to the hatch?
No way. No way.
Probably. No, he's playing it safe. He got the down, and that is it. 2K for the nurse. Clear win for Master. Very well played by both sides.
Absolutely. Master and Divine Dad putting, first of all, the first S tier best of 3 in Season 8. Very, very exciting gameplay. Great back and forth. Both teams taking the challenges, dealing with the difficulty that was thrown into their way, and therefore proving once again why they are here in Season 8. Great teams to watch. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for witnessing this insane game with us. And that means we are at the end of today's stream, the first day of week 8. If you're wondering where the game between Cynic and Paradox is, since that was posted on the schedule, Paradox unfortunately had to forfeit due to a few players being sick today, so they couldn't play against Cynic. So we wish all the best to the players of Paradox coming back strong